Hello everyone, welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is Bahram. I'm an electrical contractor based out of Vancouver, BC. And in today's video, I want to talk about if you need a starting capital to start an electrical contracting business. Let's get into the video. So as of this date, I have been an electrical contractor for just over 3 years, and I have more experience as an electrician working in the Vancouver area. And the one thing that I noticed between all the other contractors that I have worked with or worked for is that most of them have actually started with very little capital being invested into their business, and that is mainly because the biggest overheads that you have as an electrical contractor is going to be your tools. Now that could be your hand tools and power tools, and of course you need some of the basic materials. For example, for ourselves, we keep in our work van. You do not need a lot more capital than that. Of course, there's always a discussion of the work van, and if you need to go ahead and lease a brand new shiny van, or you could just get a used van, a little bit older models. Me personally, right now I drive a 2023 Ford e-Transit, but before this I actually had a Dodge Caravan, which is like the minivan, like the work van version of it, and I was using that for as much as I could before the transmission actually failed and get rid of it, and we ended up buying this Transit. Now I would say that getting this Transit have been a step up for us, just because we're able to carry more. Obviously it looks better and more professional as we pull up to the job sites, which is always a good plus. Now of course you do need your initial investments, which are going to be your registration for the whether it's a sole proprietorship or a corporation. You do need your initial capital for that, which is not going to be as much as some people think. Of course, your accounting fees and starting up if you want to set up a logo, or if you want to print business cards and things like that. Most electricians that I know that have transitioned into becoming an electrical contractor already have quite a bit of the, like I said, the tools, the power tools that you need to be able to get started with that. So there's not a lot of investment that you need to make in that type of tools. Again, depending on which company you are also working for. I know a lot of the bigger companies, they actually provide work vehicles plus a van stock with material and tools for their electricians. In that case, then you do have to go out and get a big investment up front to be able to gather all your materials and your tools that you need to now be fully on your own. The most important thing that I would consider in regarding to starting your own electrical contracting business would be to making sure that you have enough capital or funds available at the personal account level to make sure that you are able to provide for your household expenses. Just because as you are starting out, it may be difficult to predict what your income will be. Month to month might be different. For most, it is different. Of course, when you're working for a company, you have your steady income that you get as your payroll, whether it's bi-weekly or on a monthly basis. But when you go on your own, as with any business, it is not 100% of when you will get paid and how much you will get paid. So that's the biggest thing that I think is important to understand, and to make sure that you have at the very minimum a couple of months of savings for yourself to be able to afford your expenses that you have already. Now, one thing that I've mentioned before, that's going to be budgeting, and that is going to be for your household, whether it's just you on your own or with your spouse or partner. You want to sit down and make sure that you have everything accounted for, that you're able to afford everything that you need, and anything that is a want, you're able to kind of either save for, set aside money on a weekly, monthly, and making sure that you have a budget on the business side as well. Of course, you have to account for taxes here in Canada. That varies for at the corporate level and at the personal level. Also, depending on which province you're in, it could vary depending on that as well. So that's something you want to talk with your accountant to see what's the good amount for you to set aside from each deposit or each check that you receive for the jobs that you do. For myself, I have set through my business a few different accounts that as soon as I get any kind of income in those accounts, there are percentages that I've set aside to make sure that I have regular savings for different things that I want to accomplish with my business, and be able to have funds when I want to make any kind of investments through my business as well. Now, one thing that you might come across is going to be other electrical contractors. You're going to see them with multiple work vans and trucks, and maybe even a warehouse and an office. Of course, you don't need to be starting from there. As you can see, I'm shooting this video from my van, and this is pretty much my work office. I do have an extra room in my home that I kind of use as an office, but it's not quite an office, but that's okay. You don't need a physical location once you start out. You don't need any kind of warehouse when you start out. Your van could also become your storage, depending on the type of work that you do, whether it's residential, commercial, service work. You can stock up on things that you'll need on a regular basis that you keep as a backup. Every job that you kind of get, projects that you get, you're able to go out and get the materials at the time that you need them. So you do not need any kind of big van. You don't need to have any sort of storage to keep a lot of material and tools in. The van will do. If you're getting value from my content and you find it informational, please consider like and subscribing. It really helps me out with my channel. And comment down below on any type of video that you would like to see from me as well. Thank you for watching my video. Take care, stay safe, and I'll see you on the next one.